Hello everybody, this is Pete from PA Labs, and I'm doing this video very different than I've done the older videos. First, I'm using all new Linux tools on the Linux machine, so for at least a short term there's not going to be a whole lot of cutesy kind of stuff, but I don't think that you're watching these for cutesy junk. So, this video will also be different in that the colors and the screenshots, a lot of the fonts I cannot change for you. So instead of doing a whole screen and having it here and trying just to expand the code and make it more readable, I'm going to go ahead and zoom the camera in on the specific screens. What this process is, I'm wanting to embrace the Linux world. So, in using Pure Basic, I'm using 6.3, and the first order of business is building forms. I don't want to use the Windows applications that exist because that's not embracing Windows or Linux. So, I'm using the built-in form designer tool in Pure Basic. And from a designer standpoint, it's actually pretty good. You can detail just about everything you'd ever want to do. Where I'm building is a new conversion process for the code that it generates to generate it back to the multi-form constants and Windows folders or files that I import into projects, and making it look, feel, and act like every other application how I like to build it. And I'm building in some niceties. So initially, what I'm going to do is show you the app. That's what you're looking at right now. And it saves the last time you ran something. So what we'll do is come in here and I will select my forms folder. And this is the forms folder that I'm using for the, this didn't get big enough, did it? Alright, so, okay. And then I will come in and select, yeah, it's off screen, isn't it? Alright, so we'll do it this way. So then I can come over here and say, okay, the destination, is going to be this guy. Whoops, there. And we'll select that. So my source is the forms folder. The destination is my project folder. And I'm going to name this video so as not stepping on the files that I'm actually running right now. So it processes quite fast, and it comes back with just a screen message that says it works. If it fails, it fails. And it also loads this process. I have a process loop generation in this, and the combo box fills with whatever forms it found in the source folder, and you can select one and then build it, and it'll be copied to the clipboard. So that's all this program does. Every time you run it, it starts basically from scratch. The minute you hit the process form for the first time, it'll save where he's sitting and what he's doing. So the idea, just like last time, is to take the executable and put it into the forms folder and execute from there. That way you have everything local to that project right there for you to use. So I'm going to go ahead and close this off, and I'm going to come back and bring up the editor and start showing you code from the editor side. Okay? So in this step, we're going to be looking at the Pure Basic IDE, specifically the code view, so that will make your whole screen be this one little piece of mine. I want to go through the form and show you, this is our working form in Linux, in the built-in form designer. And it's just pretty much what you saw earlier. No big deal. It's got a very nice feature that lets you switch to a code version of that, so you can see the code that they're generating behind the scenes. Now, I do have a few rules that I'm going to have to go over for how to use this, but if you notice here, when you view the code, everything is in enumerations. So all of my variables are prefixed with pound signs. I'm not using PB any at all. This is not designed for a PB any sort of thing. So if you have a global definition up here at the top of your screen with a bunch of fields in it, you'll need to go back and tweak your form. So it puts them all into enumerations, nice and pretty, and has all of your image and fonts, and of course all the naming is wrong, but that's okay. We have the procedure to open the window. That's pretty good, and they have a very rough event loop, okay, and it doesn't run the way I think in terms of coding. So that's our source code that's behind our process. And again, you get to that by form, switch to code, or design view. So now I want to look at the generated code that we actually built a moment ago. Back up to here, we put that in video. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up both of the video files. Now, video constants, so you provide a project name, and I'm going to provide you a underscore constants to go with it, and an underscore windows to go with it. Now, in the constants, you have a wonderful, cute little header up here. We throw in the option enable explicit, and then I'm taking all of the forms that you have in your project and consolidating all of the various enumerations to this one file. That way, all of your form windows will be numbered starting at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It then goes, and once all the windows are done, it gathers all the gadgets, and it'll just go through here, pick up where this left off. We do a save of the current enumeration value here, whatever that happens to be. We increment by 1 and just keep that enumerator going all day long. So then we get all of the gadgets, we get menus if you have menus, we get images if you got images, we get the catch image pieces, for the fonts, and I rename everything and its brother. So because we have multiple forms, it's if we only used the text, the type, field type, text, button, image, string, and its name, then it's very highly probable that across multiple screens you may have a name field or a title field. And since enumerations have to be unique, we're prefixing them like we did back in the other programs of pound gadget underscore form name underscore gadget type underscore name. Okay, so that's guaranteed to be unique across. I don't care if you have 1,000 different forms, no big deal. Everybody's unique, and it's just a structured way of doing things. And I kept it pretty much exactly as the old way. The only thing I cheated on, I didn't see a reason for changing I believe it's these images. I don't think that's the original name. It had form in there, and it just incremented by 1. And that works. So I didn't see a need for doing that. Oh, crap. I still have a bug here. Look at that. It's still picking up 2 underscores. going to have to get rid of that. So anyhow, it's all formatted nice and pretty as well. So that would be your constants. And now we come over and let's take a look at the video windows. Okay. So here starts out with a nice lovely comment, the standard stuff. And you get a procedure that's open underscore window underscore form process. All of the gadget names are converted properly to the new format. And let's see, you get all the standard stuff is here. I still have some testing to do on this, but I wanted to get the video out to show you guys what I'm working on. So this will work in Windows if you want to use the built-in IDE, or the built-in IDE form designer tool. This will work in Windows and it will work in Linux, no big deal. I'm also going to be releasing the source to this. Now, I believe, I hope I did, put a paste, I did, good. If you remember back to the earlier piece, I went ahead and copied it to clipboard, the creation of a control loop. And this is the default control loop that I'm building. I put it in a procedure, but I seriously doubt that it needs to be in a procedure. You'll probably just paste this into your own code sheet and just leave it at root of the code sheet. But anyhow, I did put it into a window procedure. So we have our definition for the get out of Dodge, close the window down. And I got to define in here for all of the variables that we're going to be using. The last piece of the intro area is the unhide of the window. We'll go over that when we design windows. You should always build them to where they're hidden. So when they come over and you begin to process them, they're invisible. You load up all your data, and then the very last step, you presto it to the screen so people see it pre-populated and everything's fine. So we start with the repeat. We go ahead and load up our 4 variables, and then we start the select of the event ID. I have a close window routine built in, pre-populated with the defined variable. And I guess I should say the repeat comes down here. And I missed the end of that. I got to get that fixed too. Bug number 2. Demos where all bugs come out. Don't worry. That's why I said it's not quite ready for release yet. So then we have it's repeating until this becomes true. He's defaulted up here to false. Which also seems to be missing. I'm going to have to fix that too, yeah. Okay, so we have a few more bugs. Then we go into the menus. This particular program doesn't use menus, but I built the stub anyhow. Oh, yes, I also put in a resize event, a window size event, and pre-populated form width and form height to the form size. So if you want to resize your form, you just come in here and just have at it. So like I said, this guy does not have menus. We do have a lot of gadgets. I specifically ignored putting text gadgets into the control loop. I can't remember the last time I ever needed a text gadget in there. All it is just a waste of space in my book. So again, I'm giving the source of this all away. So if you want them, you can take the if it's not a text, and you can have them in here if you want. They appear as they appear in you built them. So that's the order. I'm not messing with the order of these at all. I suppose we probably could, but I don't know if alphabetical sort would do any good for anybody. So however you put them on the screen, that's the order of them, and that's how you're going to get them. And I stubbed out a left click on anything that's got the word button in it. and that'll have a left click, or it has the word list. If it has list, it automatically has change. If it's a string, it automatically has the change event. So as somebody's typing, you want to do something and flag something to happen. So those are the differences that you'll see. You'll either have a change event on a string or a left click on anything that has a button. Change event also shows up on anything list, so that would be list icon, list view, and list. So it builds all of that out and then ends everything off with my 2 or 3 bugs that I got to go fix. So that is the generated code out of this. I want to walk through real quick the actual processing code. The processing code is just this one sheet, not killer long, couple hundred lines of code, no big deal. I do a bunch of declares at the top for my procedures. Everything is stored in this structure. I have the raw form of what was input off of the pure basic generated form code. Then it's massaged into a final version, and then I tag it all with the form name. Okay, so that way I can spin through whatever collection I want and pull out just one form. That's really there for the control loop. So you can choose your control loop and only get that one control loop of stuff. So it loads a whole bunch of lists of the different types of data. I have a procedure in here to clear out the lists and get stuff all cleared away. This is kind of a moot point since it's almost always going to be run as a standalone program. But I went ahead and put it in there just for fun because I was looking to do that. And we come in here with the standard defines. And then I go ahead and get the initialization path. And then, let's see, we open our window and populate some stuff in the window. We hide the results and copied to clipboard. And I pretty much disable everything initially until you touch something. If I can find the initialization file in the specific folder that you're executing this, then I will open it up and populate the whole screen for you and make a few things active for you, because you don't get the process button until all 3 of these fields are filled out. So this automatically does all of that, and presto, you're up and running. And then we unhide the screen, so poof, you get your screen that you're looking at. So then we come into the repeat loop. Went ahead and have some stuff stubbed out. We have the bailout ending. We have our event loops here. These are just the source button, that elliptical button on the right of the source path. Just does a path requester, no big deal, and populates it to the screen. Same thing with the destination. And then we have the build button and the build. Oh, wait, let's not do the build first. The process form is the first of the biggies. So, or actually it pretty much is. So it starts with the begin process, which picks up the source folder. And then it processes files one by one of the PBF extensions that are in the form folder that you have. Okay. It saves, it's where he automatically updates that INI file, so we have it saved for the next time you come into this folder and run this. Let's see, we if that comes back as successful, you get your successful. Otherwise, it comes back with failed and red. So all this guy does is just kick off this begin process. Come on, get there. There we go. So the begin process is pretty small. The only error you can get is if you do not have a PBF and there's no files to convert, you'll get your false that it failed. If I get a PBF, we're going to read the form and then just sit here until we've gone through all of those files, processed all the PBFs in that folder. When that's completely done, then we write out our two forms, the constants and the windows. And we're pulling all of that from those lists. Now, down here we have the read form, which is what this guy calls on each individual PBF. And this guy opens up the file and grabs its format, and we build a line variable, which is the literal. And then I have, it's a trimmed literal, so I trim spacing off the right and left side. If we jump back over here real quick, you will see there's spacing on the right or on the left. There very well could be some spacing on the right. I have no clue, but I'm getting rid of it just to be safe. And then I have a lower line, LLINE. That is the lowercase version of him, which is used for doing left lookups or find strings and that sort of thing. So basically, I'm cutting up this based on this enumeration form window. I load all these. For enumeration form gadget, I load all of those. I'm looking for what starts this stuff off, catch image, form font, load font, the open window form process, and then we process all of this. Okay, so you can walk down this and see how it breaks up. It does it on a if else if, so he's only going to find one match for everything, or he doesn't find a match at all. Comments are ignored, blank lines are ignored, that sort of thing. And then I process it to where we add an element to the specific list, and I fill out the three different ways that things need to be stored. Okay, so that's how the processing occurs. All right, let's go take a look, see at write the forms. Writing the forms is merely coming in and building first the constants file. We put out the header. It's a destination thing. I append the names together and create the file, overwriting if it already is there. We then spin through all of those lists, and I build this out to be this guy here, which consolidates all of the window processes here, all of the gadget processes there. So that's how this guy processes. If you want to change how something's done, you can simply easily tweak it. Same with the Windows file. Windows file has a little bit more tweaking, I believe, in it. Actually, no, it doesn't. The tweaking is all done beforehand. It's actually pretty good. This file, this piece right here, the open form, I changed the name here. This guy, the form generator of Pure Basic, actually handles parentage. So all I have to do is take this open window and deal with the parentage, renaming of the variables of parentage, and then renaming of these variables to match our new structure of gadget, form name, and then these pieces. So that's pretty much all that does. And I do that, I think, on the load, not even on the output. The output just is a dump the guy to the output. All right, so the control loop. The control loop, I have it compressed, is actually pretty big. Most of this down here, hold on, let's see. The control loop, I did it up here in the, all right, gotta keep myself honest here. The control loop work is all done up here in the processing of the file. So we know we're at the control loop when we get to that section. Whoops, crap. of procedure space window underscore, and let me jump over here, and that's procedure window underscore. So we're looking for this. So once I get to this, I know I'm on this section. Now, I really don't use any of this code. Everything is generated manually from the lists. So I can take the, here, all I do is load, I build a control loop for every single form you have. And then you just request which ones you want. Not everyone needs one. You know, if that turns out to be false, then shoot, I'll just put it in some, you know, we'll append it in somewhere else and try to get it to be automatic for us. So it goes and builds the window and the names of things. He spins this. He's making sure that it matches the, well, wait a minute. This is the building of him. So this is bringing all of those variable control loops. He's adding records to control loops, spinning whatever list he needs to load and build that control loop pretty much manually all the way through. So when you actually say build it, all I do down here is spin that control loop list, make sure that our form's name match, and write it all out to the clipboard. That's all I'm doing. Then we put the little message up there that says you got it. So that'll finish this piece of the video. The next piece of the video is actually getting into the form builder itself. I want to go through the form generator, and this is where it's going to get difficult. I'm going to show you pieces and how it's configured on the right-hand panel that does not get resized. Sadly, it's very small. So when I zoom the camera in on that, we're going to look at various fields of this form, and I'm going to show you some of the ways that I used it and tweaked it. Okay? And most of this is pretty much required for the app to work. Remember, everything, you can't use PBNE, you must use fields. So I'm going to show you how to go about doing that. And there's a few other little minor tweaks. So that's it for this segment. I'll be right back with the next. Okay, so here we are at step 3, video 3 of this particular set. As you can see, your screen is just this one section of my screen. And for me, this is like maybe an 11 point on my screen, which on your screen, because this is the whole thing, I'm hoping it's going to be a lot bigger. So it makes it easier to see. So what I have selected on the left hand of my screen that you can't see is the window itself. So this is the form, all right? So if you notice, this is not checked. We do not use PBNE as a rule, and I haven't found a way to turn this rule off yet. This is by default checked, so you have to uncheck it for everything. And then put in your whatever you want to call it. I strongly recommend window underscore whatever you want to call your form. If you want to prefix it with FRM, you want to just call it whatever. It's always best if your variables, and this is probably a throwback from my COBOL days, it's always best to name things to where it makes logical sense just looking at it, and then you got to write less comments in your code. Calling it George and it's your main screen, well, that doesn't logically make sense. I normally call my main screen FRM main. I always prefix it from FRM just because that's a very, very old habit of mine. I think I was even doing that in PL1 days on mainframes and everything. So for me, I can't not do that. Sorry. So yes, I recommend window underscore whatever you want to call your form. I did change from my norm to not call this main and just call this what it is, but then there's only one form here. If you want to play with captions and variables and stuff like that, I mean, knock yourself out. All of that gets, I think, will just get picked up and slid across, no big deal. You can play with any of your sizing stuff. You can do all of this disabled. You can put your parents in. So you'll type in the name of the parent. So this may have a window underscore FRM main as his parent here. That will show up and get converted in the code. I do not use the event procedures. I believe these are all checked and whatnot. I am not processing this particular event procedure. It will be ignored in my code. It's not going to be called. It's not going to be picked up. It's not even going to be stated that it exists. So those are my only two caveats to you. If you use this, you'll have to reuse it. PBNE must be off. So come down here. You can check all your stuff. I strongly urge invisibility on forms when you create them. That way you can load them and then presto them into the screen fully loaded to your user. So let's go look at a text field. So this is a text field. It comes in with the variable text underscore, and then I name it whatever its name is. Again, PBNE is turned off. Put your captions in. All of this doesn't really change. You can use the right center border fonts, pick up whatever fonts you like. Then we have buttons. Here's an image button. Okay, images are a bit on the unique side, so let's take a deep dive here. Once again, PBNE is off. Button image, so that means I have an image to load in. Hitting select lets me pick my image, and notice that I am using not full pathing. We are using relative pathing. So how do you set relative pathing? Well, this is going to be interesting. If you go to the form menu option, and I know you can't see that, there is an image manager. The image manager pops this little screen up. And come on, move over. There we go. This little screen lets you come in on all of your images and say, okay, cache the image. That's what you want to do. PBNE. No, we're not using PBNE. You can select the image and put it over there, and somewhere we have set relative path. Your options there are having it be the full path. Oh goodness, I just screwed that up, didn't I? Okay, we're gonna hit cancel. Okay, so you can change that to make sure that is set to relative path. That way your code can run just about anywhere. You're all good to go. So that is the requirements of images. Oh, and I did screw that up, didn't I? No, I didn't. We're not going to save it. All right, so button, just a standard button is oh no, sorry, that's a string variable. He comes in standard, easy peasy standard stuff. Process button, he's just a button. He's got a name. You can play around with what all of this stuff that you want. That's literally it. That's the only real requirements that we have on the form and whatnot. And that builds your form. And when you're happy with it, hit save. Be careful to make sure you hit save on your changes. Because if you change tabs and hit play, you haven't saved it, therefore it might undo it on you. So it's always best to hit save the minute you come out of playing with this. And I am not going to do that right now. But that is the whole shooting match on how this thing works. I've got a few bugs to fix, but I want to thank you all very much for watching. Okay, in the previous 3 video piece segments, I didn't show you how to use the dadgum thing. So, real quick, here is my documents folder, and I have a PB project, and then I have my FormProcess, and this is the root of my project. Here's the 2 that we just built a second ago. Here's my project file. Here's the ones the code is running with. Here's my FormProcess. Here's the INI file, and this is my executable Linux. It doesn't need an exe. It can just be that. So images, I have a GUI folder and the 2 images, and we back up. And in forms, we have the PBF, and oh, this is a very old piece of nothing. All right, now, ideally, what we will do is put the FormProcess will in your projects when you go forward, and when I have it separate on this because I don't have him updating himself, since when he's updating a different project, there's no problem. So ideally, you're going to take this and put it over here into the Forms project, and then give it execution rights if you're in Linux, and if it's just Windows, you can have it as your exe. A word of caution in Windows, your My Documents folder structure is protected, so you may want to put it on a D drive or somewhere outside of the My Documents world. Very annoying. So that is how the folders look. How do you use the code? So this is the FormProcess PB, that's the detailed code sheet. In my project, all I have are these 3 files. So FormProcess, constants, FormProcess, Windows, and then the actual code sheet itself. Okay, so I bring in the constants file first, and then I bring in the Windows file, and then we can go from there. I mean, it's just right here is the form loop, the processing loop. So I declared all my variables up at the top and put all the procedures at the bottom, and yada yada yada. But that's how you would actually do it, is just put those 2 in your program, and then you can call the you want to show a screen, you just come into you can start an if that says if open window FormProcess, and this is the call to the Windows processing function for opening that window. So that is how that works. I mean, it's pretty easy peasy. It's all the code that you've ever seen me write is use this structure. So I wanted to update that here, and once again, thanks for watching.